oft. When we last saw the characters, they were Madame Ava went from each of them, sort of had a little ritualistic removing of a veil for each of you and said, I have seen your deeds. Right? Then she got to you, Polly, and she was monstrous, withered, monstrous, pulled off her veil, and you were in shock, right? And she said, in a guttural voice, I have seen your deeds, right? And so we're picking up immediately from there. Before we begin, do you guys have any questions about a bunch of characters, about anything? Did we do experience last time? I can't recall. Did I give you guys an XP reward?
You sent out a message after.
I did. That's right. Okay. So make sure you noted that if you didn't already. And yeah, so if there's any questions, let me know. If not, we'll get right to it.
Yeah, I had, I guess, a couple questions. Mm-hmm. There's a crystal ball in this tent?
There is, yeah.
Okay. And when I see her, she pulls off her final veil to give to me. And she looks, obviously there's a witch thing going on here. Is it my witch?
Yes.
It is. Okay. All right. In that case, I'm ready.
I wasn't just hinting. It is, in fact, you're a witch. Yeah. Good. Maybe like it's your witch, like you recognize your witch, but she's maybe like even more monstrous somehow, right? We'll talk about that. So we have to explain in the fiction what happens to Stosh and Ivor, why they are not, because they're not here. Their players aren't here this session. So what I think is going to happen, as soon as this scene kicks off, I'm going to describe how it proceeds. And then we're going to say that Ivor and Stosh, like one pulled the other out of the tent and they left. And then we're going to do a love letter for when they get back to figure out what they were up to. So you guys might view it as like cowardice or whatever, but I think they're going to have been up to something. So that sounds good to you guys. Madame Ava, now looking somewhat monstrous. Well, we see you all see this. When she pulls the black veil off, she's withered, hook-nosed, completely bald, like a bald elderly woman, but somehow a little more twisted, a little more, I don't know, she's tall. She's like much taller than you expect her to be, right? And just like glassy gray eyes, right? Like staring out at you. But then her features change back into a woman who you presume is Madame Ava. You guys haven't seen her face yet, but she just changes into a normal looking woman. And she says, oh my God, something's going on. Something's trying to take me over. Something's trying to get control of my body. And then she changes again into the witch form, right? And it goes back and forth, like her features like rapidly changing back and forth. It's as if the witch is trying to take over Madame Ava, right? Mad Mary, this might be cleric business. I don't know. What do you think?
It does kind of sound like cleric business.
What do you do?
Can I try and determine whether she is under a spell or like if there's a spirit that can be exorcised?
I think it's probably like a spirit that could be exorcised. Like you should be able to like cast out the witch, right?
Okay. I think to begin with, I'll say, quickly hold her down, and I'll pull out a vial of holy water.
Nice. Sorry.
And if they do, I'll try to make her drink it.
Yeah, I like this. I think this is good. So the idea is you get her to drink the holy water, and that will be so repulsive to the witch that it'll cause the witch to not want to enter her body, right? Is that the idea?
Yes, and then hopefully we can deal with whatever it is once it's out of her.
Okay, awesome. Sounds like step one then is going to be like securing the witch. So that sounds like that's your business. all these brand new characters because you all die. Crush. Crush. That sounds like something for you to do. So what do you do?
Okay.
If you want to do that, we could do something else, I suppose.
No, I think I agree with this course of action. So I guess first of all, do we have a role for your party?
Oh, I'll get one. Sorry, I forget every time.
While that's going on, the
10 people who watch our videos are probably like, he didn't get the role for your party again.
I hear this call to hold down the witch, and I'm immediately going to try and wrap my arms around her wiry body and hold her down.
Okay, nice. And as you're doing that, it's like you sometimes get a hold of her really easily when she's Madame Ava, but then her face, kind of, like in that old Michael Jackson video, her face morphs into the witch, right? And she's stronger now, and so it's this little back and forth, constant back and forth. Give me a strength roll.
Okay. Oof. I think that's a 4. Yep, that's a 4.
I think at this point is probably when Ivor and Stosh slip from the tent. You just maybe you see out of the Polly. Maybe you. Well, no, you wouldn't because you're too focused on her. You've got to be really focused on the witch, right? But one of you will notice, like maybe Ivor grabs Stosh and they slip out of the tent, right? I think what happens here is Kurash, she just like swings like in a big wide arc, like her arm, and just like her arm, it's like a delicate lady's arm, but as it's swinging through the air, but then it like transforms rapidly like into a big heavy, monstrous arm and just clubs you, right? And I think you're just unconscious.
Oh.
Okay.
Polly, what do you do?
Well, the witch was always trying to get me to use the looking glass, the crystal ball. Mm-hmm. She thought that I had the key to use it. She couldn't use it herself.
Okay, I like that.
So I know she's really fascinated with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go grab that and try to distract this horrible thing that is clinging on to Madame Ava's body.
Yeah.
And maybe that will help.
Okay, so the idea is distract her so that Madame Ava can like quickly, jam holy water into her mouth. I like that.
Yeah.
Roll plus intelligence for quick thinking.
So I'm. You have no power over me.
It could be charisma too. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a force of will type thing. All right, so let's roll these suckers. Come on, reroll selected. All right, that's a 6.
Nice. Oh, Kurash, I just noticed you had athletics, and so you maybe theoretically couldn't have failed that roll.
Oh, okay.
So instead, we'll just say you get her down. You still manage to we'll say you still manage to pin her down because that's what you were trying to do. But in the doing, I think she she just dazes you, so you can take a -1 forward. Okay.
Okay.
In the meantime, sorry, Polly, back to what we were doing here. And also I'm going to say that you don't have controlled situation either, Kurash. I think she just hits you and you're not unconscious, but you're just like reeling, right? And so the witch is still kind of like a danger. So, okay, Polly, what'd you get?
I got a 6. I'm struggling with the crystal ball. It burns.
All right. So I think what happens is like she turns, she sees the crystal ball. There's some sort of like recognition going on, right? And then she just like collapses to her knees, to her hands and knees, like just whoopah. And It's Madame Ava. She raises her head. She's kind of a middle-aged woman, dark hair, like dark eyeliner on her eyes, right? Tattoos. And she's... I don't know what you did, looking at you, Polly. But the creature is gone. This incursion has ended. And then she stands up, catching her breath, right? And then her head flings back and a whole big fucking arm comes out of her mouth. Just out of her mouth, right? And Madame Ava is just like there, like, you know, the arm is just like reaching out of her gullet, right? And another arm comes out. So there are now two arms out of Madame Ava's outstretched mouth. And they reach down and they are like digging into Madame Ava's skull. Mad Mary, what do you do?
All right. So making her drink this is out of the question at this point. I'm a little short on weapons, but I'm going to use the holy water instead on my mace.
Okay.
And try and beat the arms back with it.
Okay, to like push them back down into her mouth.
Actually, no. I'll bless the silver. I'm carrying a silver stake. I'll bless the stake and try and stab it into the arms.
Okay, nice. I like that. Do a. I think it's the blessing that's really the key here, not the stabbing with the stake, right? So roll wisdom.
Okay, the blessing is a special ability that I have.
Ah, what does that do?
It says with holy water, you can anoint items so that they are considered holy and magical.
Sweet.
+3 damage versus evil for a short time.
Oh, so if you're going to fight them, it would do extra damage. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, but I assume there's some fictional significance to that as well.
Yeah. I think what we'll do instead is do a wisdom roll just to see if you can like basically like cast her back, right? I think is the idea here.
Okay.
It's not so much killing her as much as like saying, you know, get back you.
Sounds good. 9.
Pretty good. I think. Describe it. What does it look like? You are going to. The arms are going to, in fact, recede.
So I think I'm like looking on in horror and sort of like I look at this holy water in my hand and I'm like, this isn't going to work. And I jam the silver stake into the bottle and it sort of shatters it because it's single use. And I sort of mutter a prayer as I actually shriek out a prayer as I charge at her and stab down into her mouth at the sort of root of the arms.
Yeah, that's good. And the arms like are flailing around like rubber like, right? You know, and then they eventually just like recede like into Madame Ava's throat. And Madame Ava says, quickly, we don't have much time to act. I can feel the surge coming again, like a terrible dark tide. What do you do?
Is there a fire in this tent?
Sure. Maybe like a lantern or something. Yeah.
I'm gonna stick my holy symbol into it and try and brand her with it.
Oh, nice.
To try and repel the spirit.
Yeah, I'm into that. And what do you say as you like put that brand on her? And she takes it willingly. Like when she sees what you're doing, she like collapses to her knees and like spreads back her hair. Like, do it. I'm ready. Anything to drive back the evil. Right.
I say, Atar's eyes are upon you, and this is your penance.
Nice. Roll
and I brand her on. 10.
Nice. Just wrap up the scene. What does it look like?
I think. So obviously this is really painful, but at first it's the spirit inside her that's causing her to sort of like convulse and writhe, and you can see her skin sort of bulge in unnatural ways. And then there's like a black smoke that billows out of her mouth, and then she's just sort of writhing in actual pain, and that slowly subsides.
Nice, good. A couple of the Vistani from outside come in when they hear the commotion, and this might be when you guys realize that Stosh and Ivor are not around, right? And in fact, the NPC, oh crap, what was her name? Irina is not with them, is not there either. I think like all three of them like went somewhere. We'll find out next session. But the other Vistani come in, they'll help like Kurash, they'll bring something to wrap your head with or whatever, and they'll begin like helping Madame Eva. Madame Eva is there, and they're tending to her. She's going to be out of commission, so you guys are not going to get a reading from her. But unless you want to hang around for a while. But I think one of the Vistani, they're kind of asking you what happened and all of the Vistani men. And assuming, do you like tell them the truth, or what do you say?
I think, yeah, tell them the truth.
Okay. And they will say, we are desperately trying to leave these lands. There's nothing here for us, nothing but darkness and evil. Every night, the forces of darkness make their incursions. Every night, they lap against the walls like waves. And we managed to hold them back. We have to go. But they kind of give each other like a dark look. And they say, but we cannot, for we are hereditary thralls of Count Strahd. And then they just have like a sort of dejected look, and one of them, we'll name him Marco, looks at you, Kurash, maybe as he's like helping, like, tend your bruise on your head or whatever, right? He says, quietly, where are you traveling to? Where are you going?
Well, we were intending to go to the castle, but it looks like our guide has left us. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to get up there now.
He says, go just a little deeper into the woods, follow the trail. There is a carriage. It has been waiting there for at least 3 days, as if expecting someone to get in. Perhaps it is you. Perhaps Count Strahd knows you are coming.
From what I've heard, he probably does.
And then he kind of like pulls you close and says, if you do go to Count Strahd's castle, he speaks really quietly because he's, Count Strahd's spies are everywhere, right? If you do go, destroy him and help free my people. I will be most grateful. We will be most grateful.
Do you have any idea how to do that? How to guarantee he's been destroyed?
He's very old. He has ruled these lands for centuries, and many, many men and women have gone up the mountain to try. Perhaps you've seen their ghosts traveling up the mountain at night. And then he kind of like gets a little like, says, I don't know. But, and then he kind of turns and looks at the crystal ball. It says, Madame Eva uses that to spy on him.
Okay. Okay. Is it everyone paying really close attention to us at this point, or?
I think the Vistani are pretty focused on Madame Eva. there's probably a couple of them in there in the tent with her there, trying to like let her rest and stuff, get her water and that kind of thing.
But the crystal ball isn't specifically being looked at right now.
No, you might be able to swipe it if that's what you're gonna try to do.
Yeah, I think if he sees me take it, that's fine. But I kind of want to,
Yeah, you don't.
not cause a fuss.
It sounds like the other ones might still be deep in thrall with Count Strahd, right? So it could be a situation where, like,
right,
you don't rock the boat too much. So what do you do?
So if they're not paying too much attention, I'm going to, just kind of casually walk, put like I'm checking up on, the state of the affairs in the cabin, and then on my way out, I'll make sure to pass by the table and just kind of palm it.
Nice. Give me a dexterity roll.
It's an 8 plus. That's a 9.
Nice. I think you had that -1, which goes away now, but
so then it's an 8. Sorry,
it doesn't matter, but that it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get the crystal ball, but I think. Let me think about this. You're going to get the crystal ball, and you'll be able to leave with it, no problem. But I think that Madame Ava will see you. Now, whatever that means in the future, who knows? But
right.
Madame Ava will see you do it. She doesn't say anything.
Okay.
She observes it.
That's fine. I intend to give it back anyway, but we'll see what happens.
But you can go ahead and put that in your gear.
Okay.
And so let's just have the scene outside the tent. You guys figure out what you want to do.
It seems like there are no havens from Count Strahd in Barovia. We might have no choice but to just go ahead and confront him.
It's looking that way. I did manage. One of them managed to tell me that while they don't know for sure how to destroy Strahd, Madame Ava is able to watch him using this, and I show him, show the crystal ball, and maybe one of us can use it to spy out a way to destroy him or his weakness or something.
I rush in to look at it in your hands and look up to see if there's any reflection. Are you seeing visions in your eyes?
Me personally, no. I'm not intending to look into it yet, but
so far the crystal ball is just inert for the time being. You may have to do some kind of special preparations to get the advantage of it, but it's very valuable though, Polly. So if you guys don't just happen to not return it, it'd be worth a significant amount of money. So that's pretty good. So you guys just gonna head out now, or continue on?
Well, we've gotten some food. We've gotten a little bit of rest, but it doesn't sound like it's safe to stay here. I think
his spies are everywhere.
Although if his eyes are going to be on us either way. It's a good question.
What was that?
You said something about Irina, right?
Yeah, right. Irina. The three of them are gone. Yeah.
But no one seems to know where they went. We didn't see them, and I mean, I imagine no one else saw them.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I'll ask around.
Yeah,
we came here with 6 people. Did you see where the 2 men and a woman went?
That same guy, Marco, he will say, "Yes, I saw your friends just before the commotion. They came out of the tent. They talked about something quickly, and then the three of them they continued ahead on the road. They're probably not much further ahead.
Well, then we should try to catch them. Come on, fellows.
I'm not sure we should go rushing off. We should eventually catch up to them, yes, but we should leave this place fairly quickly. But we should take advantage of this crystal ball before advancing on the castle, before actually going inside.
Let's maybe find some privacy.
Yeah.
We can experiment with this supposedly magical item.
Indeed. You all get a pretty hefty XP reward for that scene, principally because of the crystal ball. You each get 458. I'll just give you a second to note that. You can probably continue along the path until you get far enough away from Donny Camp, and then stop to investigate the crystal ball if you wish. If you look at the image board, you're basically going to be going through this sort of like higher elevation purpley area here that kind of goes up towards where it says CIB up in the northwest corner. The Vistani camp is just over the bridge at H.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right.
So is that cool? You guys want to continue a little further ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Well, once you get far enough away from the camp, the forest is beginning to thin out a little bit as you get it to a higher elevation. It's becoming a little bit more exposed. You're able to see the castle better now, but it's still a little ways away. But you're far enough away from the camp to where you can pull the crystal ball out and investigate it and see what's up. What's your first move there? Like, how do you try to sort that out?
Well, I've got a lot of experience with crystal balls.
True, you do. Yeah, fair enough.
So far, it's never worked.
Okay.
It's never been effective. That's the witch was trying to get it to work.
Good. I like that.
But this is a different crystal ball in a different situation. Her influence may have been what was causing it not to work. But so I know some little rituals. I don't have all of the herbs that she used and burned and laid out, but I can maybe collect some of the twigs and stones around and arrange them kind of the way she had them on the velvet table. And then it's just a matter of looking into the crystal ball and willing it to happen, I think. There were some words that she would try to make me say that I have no idea what they meant.
But like a strange language, you just repeat it or whatever. Yeah. Like that. Roll plus, I guess, intelligence.
That would be a 5.
Indeed.
But you do have the witch things skill.
True.
That's true.
You do have witch things. It's a good observation. That'll make it a hard 7 then. In which case, it works. Polly, you begin to see visions. You see visions of yourself You see visions of yourself in the great castle Ravenloft. You then see, in fairly quick sequence, a number of scenes that appear in the crystal ball, one after the other. I'm not going to describe them, but I am going to say that each of these little scenes shows you dying in a different manner. So you see them all, and maybe the two of you see Polly's face getting more and more like blanched, right, as he is looking at her. So you have all these visions of you dying in various ways in the crystal ball, okay? And I'm going to take 3 hold, okay? You have 3 hold. Just mark it somewhere on your sheet. You can spend, right before a roll, you can spend a hold to say, I saw this in a vision. This might be how I die. And if you roll a 6- on the roll, there's a chance you do die. Okay. If you live, if you don't die, then you get 10% of your needed XP for the next level.
Okay.
So you have 3 hold, and you can spend it before any single roll and tell us out of character, oh, this is one of the visions I saw. So, but yeah, that's what you see. Nothing else. that's what you got.
Okay. All right.
What do you tell the group?
Oh God, I just I look more and more horrified, but I can't take my hands off the thing. And then finally, I fall back, and I'm panting and sweating, and finally, I just look up and look from one of you to the other, and say, we're all going to die." This is a horrible idea. What are we doing here?
You can't possibly know that. The Strahd is just showing you what he wants you to see. Perhaps this ball was just some sort of trick. They were.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's probably just a trap from the witch that, the witch managed to curse it while she was possessing Madame Ava's body or something like that.
Yes, they were. I mean, they exist in the shadow of Strahd. Perhaps in some way they are his servants.
I throw my coat over it. I don't want you to try it. I don't want you to go through that. It was too horrible. Don't touch the ball.
Well, it sounds like it didn't get us any of the answers that we seek, so we should probably just hurry on and try and catch up with our fellows.
I agree.
I'm afraid you're right.
Indeed.
They're probably already dead.
Polly suddenly has an incredibly bleak outlook on everything.
Kurash, this might be an opportunity for me to hit your flag as I attempt to reassure Polly that nobody knows his fate, not even magic.
Sure.
So I'm as we walk along, I'm sort of walking along with him and telling him about the limits of magic and how clairvoyance doesn't control us. It might give us hints, but you're still in control of your own fate.
And I decide to jump in with a long-winded description of my when I brought in the prophets of Urukai or whatever, they long foretold of the doom that was going to come my way, but they couldn't do anything to hold me back. And you think that these little flashes of whatever Strahd is throwing our way are going to stop me? Well, you're damn wrong. Nothing stops me.
Good.
Nice. I'm not sure you're helping, but
well, at least it keeps my mind off of it. Yeah. These stories.
And I think flag is hit, so that's good. Awesome. I'm going to read from the text here a little bit. Once again, you continue down the fog-shrouded road, dead leaves crackling along your track. The road splits in two. The dirt road continues to the northwest, while a wide road leads east into the heart of the dense forest. Patches of cobblestone show up through the east road, telling that it was once a great road. To the right side of the fork stands a large carriage with two horses. Both horses are black as pitch. The horses snort violent puffs of steamy breath into the chill air. The carriage door swings open silently. What do you do?
The Vistani also warned me of this. It's a carriage that has been waiting here. They say sent from Strahd. Well, they assume it was sent by Strahd, and maybe for us, maybe for someone else. But with all of Strahd's gifts, I'm a little leery of just jumping in.
What is stopping us from just walking to the castle?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
You hear howling in the distance. Up the way.
Polly shivers and moves toward the carriage.
I mean, do these horses seem like they're corporeal? They're not like
they're
ghost
not like
horses.
Ghosts or they're not like hell horses or anything like that. Yeah, they're
okay. Is there anything supernatural about the carriage besides? I assume that there's no
there's no
coach
driver. There's no driver or passenger, and the door opened up. So yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll try and, to the best of my ability, inspect the carriage for something that would gas us or knock us out or try to influence us mentally or anything like that.
That's good. Roll plus wisdom.
Yeah. That's a 13.
Nice. I will let you ask 2 questions. Based off the answers, you can decide what your bonus is for the 12 plus.
Okay. This is slightly loaded, but how does this carriage intend to harm us?
The answer is it does not. It seems perfectly safe.
And will we be able to exit the carriage whenever we wish?
Yes. The carriage has a foul humor about it, and you'll sense that being a cleric. But at the same time, you get the impression that there is no particularly powerful magic connected to it. It's a low, almost a cantrip sort of magic going on,
right? Okay, this might be reaching a little bit, but could I figure out how to summon the carriage later if we need it?
Sure, I like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Just make a note on your sheet.
Cool.
We'll discuss it as needed. The carriage ride. Do you go in?
Yeah, I'll reassure you all that while extremely creepy, this carriage does appear to be safe to us.
With our completely sane cleric's reassurance.
Yeah, it's a good
I also,
I love how you're all like,
reassured
yeah,
2 or
let's
3
do
other
what she
people
wants to
that-
do.
It's not just the cleric; it's also all the friends the cleric has that she consults with.
It's a good point. Yeah. Well, like, is that how you figured it out? Like, were you talking to your little friends, like your invisible friends?
Oh yeah, totally. I was like, but what about this corner? It seems like there could be something hidden here.
Right. And so then she turns around and says, "We're all good."
I just share a loaded look with Polly before getting in, like,
Yeah, probably a good idea. Be wary, be wary. The horses, if you get in, the carriage door closes on its own. The horses snort and they continue up the road. If you look at the map, they are winding all the way up the road that's marked J, up to Castle Ravenloft. And let's just read about the gates of Ravenloft. After passing through the craggy peaks of the Balanox, which is some kind of, I guess it's the name of the mountain, the craggy peaks of the Balanox, the road takes a sudden turn to the east, and the startling, awesome presence of Ravenloft itself towers before you. The carriage comes to a stop just in front of guardhouses of turreted stone, broken from years of use and exposure. Beyond these, a 50-foot wide precipice gapes between the Balanox cliffs and the walls of Ravenloft, a chasm of dizzying depth that disappears into the fog-shrouded distance far below. The lowered drawbridge of old shorn-up wood beams hangs precariously between you and the arched entrance to the courtyard. The chains of the drawbridge creak in the wind, their rust-eaten iron straining with the weight. From atop the high, strong walls, stone gargoyles seem to stare at you from their hollow sockets and grin hideously. A rotting wooden portcullis, green with growth, hangs in the entry tunnel. Beyond this, the main doors of Ravenloft stand open. A rich, warm light spills from them into the courtyard. Torches flutter sadly in sconces on both sides of the open doors. So, we have a map, and I'm going to retrieve it now. Let's see here. Now we begin the actual crawl portion of what we're here to do. Why don't we go ahead and take our break so I can take a minute to do this? So we'll just come back in 5, okay? Okay, so if you want to look at the image board, that's the map. There's a little bit like before this where you're just kind of moving past the carriage house and some other stuff. It's nothing super interesting happens, so I'm going straight to this. Basically, we're looking at on the map where it's marked K7. These are the doors that were open that I mentioned earlier. It says the ornate, massive doors hang open. Fluttering torches cast dim yellow flickers of light from the entryway. 20 feet into the castle, a second set of doors suddenly swings open, effortlessly, and the sounds of organ music flow out. Overhead in the entryway, 4 statues of dragons glare down, their eyes flickering in the torchlight. So both sets of doors there are open. In that little room, K7, there are 4 dragon statues, and you hear organ music coming from inside. Mad Mary music coming from inside. Mad Mary, what do you do? You're muted. Okay.
Oh. Can I tell whether the dragons are magical?
Roll plus wisdom. Let's see. How do you investigate? What do you do?
That's a good question. I think if we're proceeding carefully, I'll like sit outside of the doors and like meditate to detect auras of magic.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Roll plus wisdom. Let's see how it goes.
The 7. No. Yes, 7.
Indeed. I'll answer your question. Yes, they are.
All right. Well, I don't know what they do, but I can tell that these statues are not just statues. Perhaps we can find another way in. I'm a little nervous about walking by them.
Yeah, we've obviously been expected. Just walking in seems very dangerous. Are there signs of any foot traffic going in and out of here?
Roll plus wisdom.
Where's that silly rolling thing? There it is. 10 plus 0, 10.
You do, I'll give you a very good answer. You do see footprints that have disturbed the thick dust in places. If you kind of like poke in a little bit into the entryway. It's unclear when they were made, and it could have been, who knows how long ago it was. But you don't see any footprints coming out. There's no evidence of anyone coming the other direction. And for your 10 plus, you also see near the plinths upon which these big dragon statues stand, at least the 2 that are right by the doorway. Right near the plinth, you see what appears to be like deep gouges in the stone, like claw marks in the stone.
Similar to the claw marks that I saw back in the village?
No, not quite. They match the claw marks of the dragon statues.
Got it. Point that out.
Yeah. I mean, this is a nice big castle. Are there any accessible windows?
If you want to brave trying to climb the high walls, I suppose that's possible.
How high are we talking? I mean, I have 20 feet of rope, which might be helpful, but if it's more than that...
That may not do it, no.
Okay.
You might be out of luck on that. It's very much designed to go in this way.
Yeah.
They're quite high otherwise. But, you know, I mean, if you wanted to handhold it up, I suppose it's an option. Dangerous option, but an option.
Mm-hmm.
I could try it, but once I got up, I don't know how I'd be able to help you all.
Am I the only one with rope?
I think I might have some rope as well. Yeah, I have another 20 feet.
So we could potentially send you up with 40 feet of rope to drop down to us.
To get up a floor.
I'm not wild about that idea, but it's an idea. I'm going to take a rock about fist-sized,
okay,
and just kind of toss it into the entryway.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just toss it.
Nothing. Okay.
Do the dragons look like they've got mechanical joints?
No, they look like stone statues.
We could attempt to follow the footsteps in, because it looks, I mean, we don't see any blood spatters or body parts here.
Maybe a bit of char on the ground.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Why don't we walk around the castle? There's another entrance.
Yes,
we'll follow the
seems
signs.
prudent.
Yeah. Follow the signs for untrapped basement entrance here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys are wise to be hesitant here, but I am curious. What do you do? Where do you go? What's your next move?
I wonder, are there...
Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask if there were...
I'll start walking.
Okay, you first.
The wonders of playing online. I'll just start walking around the perimeter, going clockwise.
Yeah, so about that, you can get around the perimeter. At a certain point, when you get on the outer perimeter, you're basically there's just a tiny shelf of rock to stand on before you plummet down to your death, right? But you can do that by all means.
That's exactly where a secret entrance would be.
I love it. Yeah, let me take a look at the maps real quick and see what you might find if you do that. Just take a glance here, and roll plus wisdom. Actually, before you roll plus wisdom, hold that. We'll take that roll back. I'm going to roll the die of fate to see how tricky it's going to be to navigate around the castle. Okay, so I think it's going to be, I got a 3. And I think you're going to be able to do it. I think the danger as you're doing it is I think the winds are whipping up really strong, right? And you don't have much space to actually walk, probably just a couple feet, right? And so you're going to have to stick to the wall a little bit, right? So knowing that, do you want to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. In which case, go ahead and give me a plus wisdom to see if you can find anything. But the dangers, of course, the stakes here, you might get blown off if it goes badly. So.
All right. This is exactly what the other parties that have tried to come up here have not done.
They've all gone in through the dragon door.
And it's still a 6.
Where's everybody else right
Fate had it.
I mean, like, where are you all at? And like maybe you see Polly. You know what Polly's plan is. He's like checking the walls. He's going along the side of the castle. Where are you, Mad Mary?
I think I'm pacing up and down in front of the door, and if you listen carefully, it sounds like I'm arguing with someone, saying like, "No, I haven't sent him to my death. No, you didn't. You didn't rescue me just for me to go to my death in the castle."
Nice. You're talking to Gora right now. What about you, Karash? Where are you?
So I am thinking, Polly comes up with his idea, and I see how narrow it is, and I'm thinking, oh, we should really tie him off with this rope. But then I have Mad Mary yammering on and on and on over next to me. So before I get a chance to tell Polly to tie himself up, this might be a good interrupting you while you're talking scene. I just turn to you. Will you please who are you even talking to? There aren't even any birds to talk to out here.
And I go, he's right here. And then I look over and look confused for a moment, and I'm like, I don't know who I was talking to.
Everyone in this country is mad, I swear.
And
I just want to get my money and get out.
Right about that time, you all hear Polly scream, and then you see Polly, like, something has happened. He's tripped, or something or a strong gust took him. But Polly is hanging off the side of cliff face. There's like a little like gnarly tree, kind of like coming out of the side of the earth a little bit, right up there at the top. And he's managed to grab that.
Mm-hmm.
Karash, what do you do?
I immediately rush over. Like I said, I had the rope and was thinking about telling him to tie it off. So I'm going to throw it down to him and, wrap it around my forearm and say, grab hold, I'll pull you up.
Yeah. And you have athletics, which is a good thing here. So roll plus strength.
That is a 6.
Okay, so it's a hard 7. Hard 7. I think you're gonna get Polly up. Polly, you have either in the struggle to be pulled up, or maybe just when you slipped over the side in the first place. It's a little unclear when it happened, but I think you lost a ton of your stuff. Like a bunch of your stuff just went careening down the side of the mountain. What, we ask ourselves, went careening down the side of the mountain? Here's how this is going to go. Basically starting at the witch knife and going all the way down your list. Roll that many d6s, and basically for every one you roll, you've lost that thing.
Should I just roll one at a time with regular dice?
I think so. Yeah, because otherwise, because the die roller orders them, and that won't be very helpful. So.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
You can turn off sort dice.
Oh, that must be new. Is that new? Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, you can click.
We've been using it in Cold City.
Do it manually. But while I was hanging off that little tree, I was thinking to myself, damn it, I saw myself hanging from a branch.
You're not making a roll though, so
that's all right.
Actually, surprisingly, you did not see yourself hanging over the side of the tree. The crystal ball got that one. You can see that one coming at all.
There goes my dagger. Oh no, my food scraps. Silver stake. Oh, just barely. And 1 rich. All right.
All right, got it all sorted.
Food scraps. Yep.
But otherwise, you're safe. So.
Thank you, Crush.
My pleasure. Are you okay? You know, as I pull you up and dust you off and pat you on the back.
Oh, don't pat me on the back out here on the ledge. Let's get to safety.
Well, so maybe are you going to continue braving the castle wall or what?
Boy, I sure. Yeah, I think so. I'll look at you, Crush. Yes? Has Mary found anything?
Mary has yet to even find her sanity, let alone something worthwhile. And turn to Mary. Is there any chance you could pray to whatever god you think is relevant in this country to protect us from these creatures or whatever this magical aura is in there, or pray to shut them off?
Would you like a banquet sent to you as well, to your bedroom, and a hot bath drawn for you? Yes.
Actually, yes.
I would like that very much, please.
Unbelievable. People expect gods to do everything for them.
Or something for us.
But perhaps I could pray for protection from fire or something like that.
Maybe. Is that a thing you could do?
No.
What can
Not
you do,
really.
cleric? You have bless. Okay.
Bless and turn.
Yep. That'd be the extent of it at this precise moment.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll continue around then.
Well, I think I turn back to Karash and I say, "You're a mercenary, a ranger, some sort of tracker or something like that, aren't you? Surely you can figure out how other people have gotten in here."
I mean, it's already been figured out. Those are the footprints, and like I said, we could attempt to follow in them, but I know nothing of magic. Maybe this is trying to detect a certain specific type of person and only allows them through. I know nothing of this.
I mean, the door is opened up as if to welcome you. It's not like he's trying to keep you out.
It's true.
Or he's welcoming us to this room where he'll kill us. Of course, if he wanted to kill us outright, he could have probably just driven the
Seems like he could have done that
carriage off the
already.
cliff.
Why would he bring you in the carriage? Just because he just wants to see you die right there in that particular spot.
So
All right.
are we just going in?
I guess so.
Maybe
I can. Oh, go ahead.
Maybe if we go through extremely quickly.
I will lead the way and try to place my feet only where there are already footprints as quickly as I can.
Okay. If you do that, you will make it across totally fine.
Of course.
My jaw drops.
Now what? Do you all do that?
Oh, if he survived, yeah, totally.
Yes, yeah, you can all go in, no problem.
I imagine it like kind of sneaking with high steps.
It's good that you're frightened. It's good. Okay, so you get into what's marked K8 on the map, which is like the great entryway. Okay. Cobwebs hang from dust-covered columns of this great hall, illuminated by torches fluttering in iron sconces. The dust and webs cast strange moving shadows across the faces of stone gargoyles, squatting motionlessly on the rim of the domed ceiling. Cracked and faded ceiling frescoes are covered by centuries of decay. 2 doors of bronze stand closed to the east. To the north, a wide staircase climbs into the darkness. All the while, sad and majestic organ tones float from you from a lit hallway to the south. So, I think normally we don't show you the map. Like when we're, if you're playing D&D, you wouldn't be able to see this map. But I don't care. So we're not doing it. We're not doing it.
What do we see when we look to the south toward the organ tones?
I mean, you'll just hear it coming from a room in that direction, right? Like it's almost like behind you, really, at this point. You would hang a right over here to K9. That's the direction it's coming from.
Yeah. I thought maybe we could see into it. Well, I shrug and point to the organ, and then point up the stairs and head toward the organ.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Why not?
So as you're moving through to K9, it says, torchlight flutters against the walls of this vaulted hall. To the east, a dark and forbidding hallway runs into darkness. Beside that, a suit of armor, oiled and glistening, stands at attention in a shallow alcove. To the west, large double doors hang slightly open, a steady bright light escaping through the opening. Swells of organ music come from behind the doors, spilling their melody of power and defeat into the hall. So basically, you got behind the doors that go into K10, that's where the organ music's coming from. What do you do?
Put my fingers to my lips, and I creep over to that door to K10 and peek in.
Yeah. It's very brightly lit by chandeliers. I'll describe it in more detail when you go in. But you will see, you'll see in the room on the far side of the room, you'll see a massive organ, and you'll see a man sitting down at it, back turned to you, playing it.
Does he look like a man dressed as a count would? Is he a rich?
Hard to tell.
Is this the man of the house? Hard to tell.
There's also, I'll remind you, there's a little alcove with a suit of armor, and of course you can go in any of the directions here on the map.
Creep back and whisper to you that there's a single man in there playing the organ. I suspect it's the Count.
Well,
Do we
think
that is who we're here to see?
It is, but perhaps it would be wise for us to wait in the hopes that Irina and Stosh and Ava will arrive.
We can't just sit and wait for them.
just rush him and split the money 3 ways?
I have a feeling he knows we're here.
Then walking away from him isn't going to do any good.
Very true.
Look over at that suit of armor. Does it have weapons?
Plate armor, well cared for. Might fit one of you. I don't know.
Yeah. One of us could potentially put it on before going in, but that's going to take a long time and be loud. I mean, I'm sure the Count knows we're here, but does he know we're behind these doors?
He's just playing.
Probably, given that he can open doors magically. Who knows?
Besides, this count seems to have a sense of drama, does he not?
A little bit.
So
I have my doubts that. Yeah.
You don't think he's just gonna kill us outright? We should just go in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You first.
Polly, you said you had visions of death. Did you see anything regarding that hallway in your visions?
Oh, yes.
Polly, just
times
so
over.
it's clear, what you saw when you glimpsed in the keyhole of the doors was it's like the dining room, big dining hall.
One big table or several smaller ones?
One big table, and then there's just chandeliers all over. It's very brightly lit.
And a big organ in the distance.
Yeah.
So Kurash is going to kind of, limber up and kind of, thump himself on the chest, get himself ready, and pull out his silver dagger, or not dagger, his silver stake, and push open the door.
Is a magnificent 40-foot square room, brilliantly lit by 3 massive crystal chandeliers. Pillars of stone stand against dull white marble steps supporting the ceiling. In the center of the room, a long, heavy table stands covered with a fine white satin cloth. The table is laden with delectable foods of every type: roasted beast basted in a savory sauce, roots and herbs of every taste, and sweet fruits and vegetables. Places are set for each of you, with fine, delicate china and silver. At each place, there is a crystal goblet filled with an amber liquid whose delicate fragrance tantalizes your senses. At the center of the far west wall, between floor-to-ceiling length mirrors, stands a massive organ. Its pipes blare out a thunderous melody that offers in its tone greatness and despair. Seated before the keys, its back towards you, a single caped figure pounds the keys in raptured ecstasy. The figure suddenly stops, and a deep silence falls over the dining hall. The figure slowly turns toward you. I have a picture to add to the image board just for a little bit of, just kind of see what this scene looks like here. It looks like that. He turns. He stands up, quite tall, doesn't step forward. And his skin is sort of grayish blue. His eyes are kind of like sort of yellowy bloodshot. And he opens his hands toward you and says, "I have prepared a fabulous dinner, and yet not all of the guests have arrived. Where is Irina Kolyana?"
We figured that she was already here.
Please, sit, eat, enjoy yourself. My doors are open to you. My bounty is here for you to enjoy. The sweet, delectable fruits of Barovia are here for you to feast upon.
And I'm going to approach the table fairly carefully, looking in all the corners, waiting for an ambush until I find probably the furthest sitting place from him, and pull out a chair and take my place. I'm not going to eat anything, but politely sit and are you, I assume, Count Strahd?
Mad Mary and Polly, what do you do?
I think I sort of do a careful circuit of the table, looking at all of the things on it. But I also want to, like, I mean, I've heard a little bit of vampire lore. I want to see what he looks like in the mirror.
Ah, indeed.
Very good.
Give me a wisdom roll. At the outset, I'll tell you don't see him in the mirror, but give me a wisdom roll. We might pick up on something else.
I got a 12.
Nice. Let me review the notes really quickly so I know how I want this done for all. I will tell you that Strahd is an illusion. The mirrors are creating the illusion. And secret information, bonus information. The wall behind the organ is false. It's not made of the same material as the rest of the walls, suggesting a secret space behind the organ. Polly, what are you doing?
Polly thinks this is just a bad idea. He is sort of, we went 5 or 10 feet into the room, and he's been slowly creeping back toward the doors as the Count has been addressing us. He's not going to sit and eat.
Sit down. And you said you were sitting down, Karosh?
Yes, but not eating.
Indeed. He says, "Gentlemen, I recommend you fill your bellies with beast and wine. You will need every bit of your energy this night. It is going to be a very, very long night. So you might as well get comfortable." And then to you, Mad Mary. You have a familiar look about you. You look like someone who currently resides in Castle Ravenloft. A new arrival.
I should hope so. And I want her back.
Then you too will want to eat, because it's going to be a very, very long night. And he throws his head back in cackling laughter and disappears.
Polly's back out into the hall by this point.
I'll tell the rest of you that don't worry about letting that opportunity slip. He was never here to begin with.
What?
Yes. Look at the. Did you look at him in the mirrors?
I creep back in. No. What are you talking about?
The mirrors were projecting an illusion. How exactly, I don't know. These are... Ask a wizard. I'm sure they would be able to tell you.
My stomach starts to rumble, and I go over to the food and poke at some of it. Is this an illusion too?
Nope, it's food.
Well, he clearly
off a grape and eat it.
He clearly doesn't intend to just kill us.
Yeah, but he could put a lot of things in this food that wouldn't kill us, but could. And I look over, and Polly's like mid chew on a grape. Play with our minds. Well, if there's nothing else in this room, maybe we should head back.
I think perhaps we should check behind the organ.
Oh, well, why do you say that?
You see this little crack between the mirror and the organ, where the stone of the wall gives way to plaster cast in the image of stone.
Very good eye. Maybe the gods haven't forsaken you of all your wits.
Good joke.
So we're going through the secret door into K11 then?
Yeah. In fact, the organ just kind of like turns on a pivot, and you can walk into that area. I will read it to you. A single arched corridor leads to the south. There are several mirrors in this room. A tall, dark figure in a flowing cape floats in the middle of the room. Old archer's slits in the north and west walls are bricked up. There's just a caped figure, like floating back and forth up above. What do you do?
Another one of your illusions?
Yeah, I turned to Mad Mary. You said the mirrors were casting that illusion in the last room, right?
Yes, but what motivation would there be for an illusion in this room?
Right. I was just wondering if you thought these were the same mirrors, like they had the same magical properties. Also,
do you guys have a torch or something?
I have flint and steel to light whatever we have.
I have a candle.
That's perfect.
So, okay.
Do you light it up so you can get a better look at things?
Yeah, sure.
Up above, it's just a mannequin suspended by black cords from the ceiling. It appears to be. It looks like vaguely like Strahd, but yeah. And in fact, there are also mirrors up there. It looks like it's somehow like helps create the illusion.
So he just plays mind. He's just playing mind games with us.
With you, right?
Is there any chance, seeing as you are a resident magical expert, that he could use these mirrors to watch us? I'm trying to figure out why he's doing this. Like, is he watching us and laughing at us, or what?
I think it's probably safe to assume that we are here for his amusement, yes.
So should we be smashing these mirrors as we go so maybe he won't be able to see us? I don't know if they're scrying devices, and with that, I'm just going to
start smashing mirrors.
Yeah, I'm going to break the nearest mirror.
You can. Nothing happens when you do it. But, yeah. It just shatters.
Okay. Were there mirrors out in the other rooms, like the big hallway with the stairs? And
none that stuck out. I mean, like, no, the ones that stuck out were the ones in the dining room and in here.
Right.
Yeah. Do you want to? You can. There's hallway here. You could proceed if you wish.
Yeah.
Go back in the dining room.
I want to. I figure this mannequin is meant to distract us while we're looking at that. Something else is happening. So I'm looking at the floor. I'm looking around, and I'll slowly make my way down toward that K13 hallway.
Yeah. If you go into that hallway, behind you there's like a turret post. That's what K-12 is. And then up ahead in that hallway, this long, narrow corridor runs east and west. Cobwebs fill the hall and obstruct sight beyond a few feet.
Ooh, beyond a few feet. Wow. It sounds like no one's been here in a long time, guys. I'll push forward.
Before we go too much further, where did the footprints from K7 just kind of disappear? I didn't think to ask.
I don't know. You want to go back?
No, it's not worth it. I was just thinking with my tracking, like I could see if someone had.
If you would have had tracking on, I mean, it's a little unclear like where they would have gone once they kind of get into the main central hallway, but because there are like carpets and things laid down.
Right.
But you will notice that like once you went a little bit further into the entryway with the dragons, you would have noticed that there were a couple of sets of footprints that tried to leave.
Oh, so maybe it's a trap when you exit, not when you come in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so we might have to find an alternate exit route, but that's future Kurush's problem.
Indeed. So do you guys want to K64 there?
Yeah.
Was there anything was it K12 where the mannequin was floating?
K11. It was in K11. You can slip into K12 real quickly. These are not massive rooms or anything. I'll read that to you real fast. It says, a high domed ceiling caps the 30-foot diameter room before you. Frescoes, faded with age, adorn the ceiling, but are impossible to make out. Tall, thin arrow slits look out over the courtyard. The room's otherwise empty.
Seems this castle is a little bit underpopulated.
Well, it's interesting that this is a hidden area. Hasn't been used in a long time.
But Strahd obviously intends people to come this way because he has elaborate illusions set up, so we shouldn't get too confident. I think Polly should still keep his eyes peeled.
Yeah. All right. Carefully, I will advance down K13, looking at the floor, looking at the ceiling. Of course, most of it's blocked by the spider webs.
Yeah. I'm going to roll a d6 for the die of fate. I got a 5. Your vision is obscured and you have to kind of, knock spider webs away as you go, but it's otherwise safe. You get to the end. And it leads to a spiral staircase of gray, dusty stones.
Going up?
Going down, I think. No, up. I can't say. I'll have to pull up the thing and look, but let's see.
It says up 50 feet on the...
Yeah, it goes up. So.
All right. And is the stairway still covered with cobwebs?
No, it lets up a little bit there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let me grab the other. Are you guys going up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let's take our break now so I can grab the other map. But before we do, I want to share something with you. I've been following this Twitter account called Strahd von Zarovich. And it's pretty great. And I want to just find this one tweet for you related to the recent government shutdown, which is pretty good. Here we go. Let's share that with you here. I got a chuckle out of this. And I'll see you. Well, let you look at that, and then we'll go take 5.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
As soon as you're done.
All right. We'll take
Nice.
5. Okay, so it turns out that staircase goes up and down. So you can go either way. Choice is yours. Which do you guys want to do? Do you want to split the party?
The party of 3.
Yeah. 2-1 split. Never heard about it.
Seems like a poor decision there.
Okay, you might have to rejoin. You're roboting a little bit.
Okay.
That'll give you time to grab the map anyway. I figure out which way you want to go. Polly, you're in the lead. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking, just had myself muted. I say up. Crush, you good with up?
Yeah, up will work great for me.
Crush, what are you here for anyway?
Like I keep saying, I'm in it for the money. This will set me up for the rest of my life and the glory. Being the one to take down someone of Strahd's fame. Like I'll never lack for a job for the rest of my life.
The Burgomaster's money.
Is that any better?
Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Cool.
All right. Before heading up the stairs, I turn back to Mary and say, "Shh, keep it down."
And I turn behind me and go, "Shh, keep it
down." Slowly and quietly creep up the stairs.
Nice. Okay, let me find my map here. There we are. Okay, so I think it's this one. Let's see. Yeah, it's this one. All right. The journey upstairs goes fine, and it deposits you. Oh wait, no, I think I just duplicated the map I had before. Oh, God damn it! Fuck. Let's clear this. Sorry.
They look different on my screen.
Yeah, that looks right to me.
Oh.
down." Looks like we're 15 up.
The hallway and the barracks room keep the same number, but there's a K22 and a K25.
Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, it's just okay. All right. Well, that's kind of weird, but all right. So it must be a very tall hallway. That must be what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know, or it's just the same of all those areas. So you go up into what would be looks like right there in the K13 hallway. What do you do?
Or K30, maybe?
No, K30 comes up from K25.
All right.
I think you can step off at K64, or you can keep going up.
So if we get off at K64, I guess we might as well. That's what we do, right? And it's just a spiderwebby hall. Or is it the same hall that...
No, it's a different hall. I think it's just described the same way. Yeah.
Okay.
Thick with spider webs. So, and on the map you can see here there's a secret entrance, but I'm not going to let you find it unless you roll. So that's
we would have no indication. Although when we get to K22 and see the mannequin hanging from the ceiling again, we'd be like, wait a minute,
what's going on? If you step out, K12 is just as described. It's like a turret space, right? No big deal. If you look to the right, though, I'll read that off to you. It's an archer's post. This is where archers used to defend the keep. The castle courtyard is visible through the narrow archer slits that line the walls. It is otherwise quite empty.
Can we see the carriage from there?
No.
Does that mean that it's not within our line of sight, or that it has moved?
Or I think it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. But Mad Mary knows how to call it back, allegedly. So
she says
one of her friends whispered to her, right?
We have transportation when we need it.
Indeed.
If only we could leave.
Do any of you have awareness by chance? Doesn't look like it.
Poor Goro had awareness, but
yeah. Poor sad Goro. If you want to search this area, I'll give you a wisdom roll. So.
Yes, I will search.
Would we search it? All right.
If you don't think you would, you
I
can
roll my eyes toward Kurash, saying, "Oh God, she's off on it again."
There must be something here. Why did he hide it from us?
It's just whisper all over the place.
I got a 7.
7. Yeah. So as you're going along that hall, trying to figure out what is in the space, what the space is, you're going to notice more of that false wall. It's not quite the same color, slightly different. It's like wood. The rest is stone, right? But it's painted to look stone, right? You'll notice that. What do you do?
I can hear them talking behind my back, so I'm just ignoring them, and I start looking very carefully at the wall, and then I give it a shove with my hand.
Yeah, it'll kind of push open, and it's a pretty it's a pretty dimly lit room. Dim light from the courtyard falls into this room in jagged shafts through the broken glass and iron frames of a large window in the west wall. This immense room stands in chilly, brooding darkness. Hundreds of dust-thick cobwebs drape the room, hiding the ceiling from view. Directly across from the window are double doors in the east wall. Ornate door carvings are obscured by a thick layer of dust. Further south, a single door also leads from the east wall. At the far southern end of the hall, a huge throne stands atop a raised platform. The back of the throne is turned to the room. Staircases at both ends of the north wall lead down.
So the throne is facing us?
No, the throne is, it says, let's see here. I guess it depends on how you go in, but it says, the back of the throne is turned to the room. What does that mean?
It looks like in the picture,
I
the sea is facing pointed toward the secret door.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting, huh? So, it's just an empty throne. There's nothing else. There's nobody sitting in it, if that's what you're wondering. What do you do?
After Mary pushes her way through, I scamper in. Is the room empty other than the throne?
Do you want to look around?
Yeah. I'll take my candle.
Yeah. Roll plus wisdom.
Seven.
7. Nice. 1 second. I'll let you ask one question.
Is there anything here other than the throne?
Yes. As you go around the room, you will see. Well, let's put it this way. As you're moving around the room, Polly, you start to have a strange feeling. I'm going to roll the die of fate to see how this kind of shakes out for you. It's a 2. You start to have a very uneasy feeling. Remember I said that there's cobwebs up top and you can't quite see to the roof because it's so obscured. But as you're moving around, you begin to realize that something is watching you. Something up above is watching you. What do you do?
I hold my candle aloft to try to get a better look at it.
Candlelight doesn't go very far, unfortunately. But whatever it is, you can see the shadows that sort of just beyond. You can see them quivering a little bit as something moves across the ceiling. Can't make out what it is, but the light is broken here and there occasionally.
All right. Whatever it is, it's not friendly. I try to move back toward my friends and toward the secret door.
As you do,
walking backwards.
As you do, the moon, a shaft of moonlight, just happens to pierce through the window and illuminates a particular part of the web where you see a doll in the cobwebs.
Oh no. Is it somewhere where I can like climb up on a wall or something to get to? Do I need to get into the rafters?
You'd have to do a bit of climbing, yeah.
A doll. Well, there's. I go back to Karash and Mary and bring them in close and point up to the ceiling and tell them this sounds crazy, but I've got to get up there, and I think there's something moving up there.
Okay, and if we look while he's ostensibly holding up the candle, can we see the movement?
No, the candlelight doesn't reach quite high enough.
Okay. Polly, I don't see anything out there, but if you say so, I mean, you've haven't led us astray yet. We really need to get some more powerful light. I don't know if we can go back down to the dining room and grab some more candles, or if there are torches or something, but we need to get more light up in here.
Were there any torches lit or unlit downstairs?
The dining room had chandeliers.
Yeah. I thought there were torches in one of the rooms.
Yeah, there, in the sconces there were probably some in the entry hall.
Yeah. Is that all the way down to K7 where we're going to die by leaving?
K8, I think, but yeah.
K8, okay. Do you want to? I turn to Polly. I know you have to get up there. Can you wait and come down and let's grab some better lighting and then come back up here?
Sure, but I'm not sure what good the lighting's going to do. What if I had a rope and tied something to it? Does it seem like I might be able to knock the sort of hook the doll?
Possibly. As you are thinking about this, though, you hear a voice coming from outside the room, but getting closer. A voice that says, "Soon, Irina." Soon, my love, I will have you. I will have you, and I will reveal your true name. You will be mine. You have reached out from the vast chasm of time, and I have found you.
As soon as I hear the voice, I drop the candle and I'm skittering across the room to the nearest wall or column or whatever sort of thing I might use to climb up to get closer to that doll.
So you're going to try to stay in the room.
Yeah, I'm staying in the room trying to get the doll.
Okay. What is everybody
But
else
I'm trying to do it quickly.
Let's just go around the table. Kurash, what are you doing?
I'm gonna hiss whisper at Polly as he scampers away. Hurry up, be careful, and back up towards the secret door.
Polly, do you have a way of do you have something you can shoot up there or throw up there that might help you dislodge it?
You have a slingshot.
Oh, yes. That's not a bad idea. I was looking through the equipment, but yes. All right.
Just give me a dexterity roll.
Roll selected. 5. My luck is not with me today.
Mad Mary, what are you doing in the meantime?
I think it's Strahd, and I'm gonna try and slip out the secret door as well.
Okay. Polly, you're still in the room to get your shot at the puppet, right, or at the doll, and you're shooting it up there. And you're not quite. You take a couple shots, and you hear Strahd down the way outside the room somewhere talking aloud, right? And then, quite suddenly, a large, fat spider drops down into the room. It is the size of, it's like the size of a cart, like a shelob size spider. It just drops down. What do you do?
Run.
Give me a dexterity.
Uh, 8.
You will get away, but you're going to leave some evidence so that Strahd knows you were in here. What do you drop?
Probably drop my slingshot. Jason, you're frozen.
Well, I froze up for a minute. Sorry.
Yeah.
So what are you going to drop?
I probably just dropped the slingshot. That's what I had in my hand.
Nice. Okay, so you just drop it and run. You manage to otherwise escape, and you can slip the secret. You can slip the fake wall back, right? And he enters. You hear the doors creak open inside that room, and the spider is there, right? And you hear Strahd say, "Nero, my pet, what has disturbed your rest?" And he's, you can hear him as you're kind of there. And he finds a slingshot because he says, but what were they looking for? And then who knows if he's going to put 2 and 2 together or not. But in any case, you seem to be safe for now.
I've got to get back in there and get that doll, that puppet. Someday, my friend, someday.
How important is this puppet to you, Polly?
It's the one thing it's why I'm here. think it's the witch's childhood. It's very important to her, and if I had it, I might be able to, well, at least have some power over her, and maybe she would release me. I don't know why her childhood is left here. She must have been in Barovia at some time when she was young.
So do we hear like the door open or close, or any indication that Strahd has left this room?
No.
We better get out of here.
We
can come back.
Let's continue upward. Perhaps there's a way down into the room.
Continuing
Good
up.
idea, Mary.
All right. Why don't we mark XP here for now? Guys are going to get another 225. And yeah, this goes up to okay, so I think we figured out which map we're on now. There we are. Okay, I'm just clipping this map and then I'll be ready in a sec.
So while we're in the hallway, and Polly was just telling me the story of, the witch's childhood, Kurash is gonna, oh yes, I've heard of witches, cutting off parts of their life and embodying them in inanimate objects. It's like this time I fought the sorcerers of Kandahash, and just go off on a whole tangent about that.
Nice. It's good. The sorcerers of Kandahash.
I totally believe it, whether it's true or not.
It's 80% true.
All right, so now we get to the top here. If you look at the map, labeled the Rooms of Weeping, so good luck on that. Helpfully labeled the Rooms of Weeping. We are here. Let's see what here means. Okay. All right, so there's an overlook that's right there as you step out. That overlook, which is labeled K46, a wide walkway around most of the keep. The drizzle of rain continues. Far below these parapets are the shining, wet cobblestones of the courtyard. So you're quite high up now at this point. But you can, if you wish, go. You are outside, like looking. This whole area kind of stretches around, like K46, like it's outside, it's exposed to the weather. Where do you go? And there are doors all along.
I mean, I'm getting a little antsy that we haven't found any of the other residents of the castle yet. So I'm going in and listening at doors and opening them if I don't hear anything. Yeah. Just in order.
Which one first? I mean, in order, K36?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Roll a d6. It's a 3. You don't hear anything moving around. Could be means it could be nothing, or it could be whatever's in there's very quiet.
I'll open the door very slowly.
It does open. Dust fills your lungs. The musty smell of death and decay swirls around you. Before you, a long table of polished oak lies beneath a blanket of dust. The rotting tablecloth lies tattered beneath dusty china plates and stained silverware. In the center of the table, a large tiered cake leans heavily to one side. The once white frosting has turned green with age. Cobwebs drape like dusty lace down every side. A single doll figure of a well-dressed woman adorns the crest of the cake under thick layers of dust. A window in the south wall is draped with heavy curtains.
I want to get a closer look at the figurine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Karash, what are you doing?
Well, I'm not a big fan of splitting the party any further, so I'm going to be following Mary into there. If she's investigating the cake, I think I would just be listening at the other doors, seeing if I hear, I think I'd be investigating the walls and listening at the doors, seeing if there are any secret rooms or anything like that, because we've already seen several secret doors at this point.
Yeah, and there are several doors here that you can listen at. As you're doing so, Karash, and Polly, what about you? Are you going into?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the table. If there are any knives, sharp knives for the place settings, or maybe cutting the cake or something.
Yeah,
I'm looking to replace my dagger.
Yeah, sharp cake knife will do. Karash, you are checking at the doors, and you hear a voice up above in the ceiling that says, "Are you my groom? I have been waiting for you so long. I'm ready. I'm ready to consummate. I'm ready to make our vows lasting." What do you do?
I whirl around, expecting Mary to be saying this, or something to be going on with her, but not seeing any of that. Look up into the shadows and kind of start backing towards the group, going, did anyone else hear that?
Yes, you all heard it.
Everyone heard it. Who's there?
And a woman in a wedding gown floats down from the ceiling. She's translucent. You can see through her. And she's floating there. She's very pretty. She's very ghostly. And she says to you, Karash, "Oh, I'm so happy right now. I've been waiting for you for so long. I thought, well, I thought maybe you'd had second thoughts, that you got cold feet, but I see now that I was wrong. You do love me. You do want to be with me. Please, my love. And she outstretches her hands and floats toward you. What do you do?
So I'm going to try and, not turn and run, but like not let her touch me. If that involves backing around
You kinda like,
the table multiple times,
keep
that's
things
fine.
between you and her. Yeah. I mean,
Right, but
she just floats right through it. So regardless.
right. But while I'm doing that, my dear, I didn't mean to bother you. I thought that
Bother me? How could you ever bother me? I am your one true love.
you are, and I, my recollection is a little bit hazy, but I thought we
Don't
had
you
just had a
remember?
fight and you wanted to be left alone.
No, Count Strahd. Only hours ago, Count Strahd said the words, sealed us in marriage. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. Oh, he does so care about the people of Barovia, that you and me, simple peasants, that he would deign to bless our union. I fear that if we keep this game up, we're going to anger someone, my love. Please, let us go.
I
To
see
the
your
marriage
point.
bed.
Lead the way. I will follow you. And I kind of look towards my companions like.
She floats closer. My love, we never had our kiss. Mad Mary, what do you do?
I'm reaching into my pockets and realizing that I used up my vial of holy water, and panicking a little bit. My hand falls on my holy symbol, and I step behind Kurash, and I hold it up to her and try to keep her back.
Roll plus wisdom.
$11.
Nice. You hold up the symbol. I assume putting yourself between her and Kurash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she sees the symbol and she seems like taken aback a little bit. She's like, oh, why would you show it like that? My love, who is this woman? Who is this strange woman? And why does she hate me so much? Why does she want to hurt me? Why would she show me that horrible thing?
My dear, she is merely she's a friend of ours. Don't you remember? She's the wise elder woman of our village, and she just wants to make sure that you are happy and you rest easy. And Kurash is kind of trying to talk her down.
She's hurting me right now, my love. She's making me feel so bad. She's making me feel like I don't belong here. This is too much for me. She begins to proceed a little bit. She's crying. Mad Mary, do you press your advantage here? What do you do?
Yeah, I think I do. I start. Well, so Kurash is trying to resolve this peacefully.
Right.
So I think I just I'm letting him talk. So I'm buying him time.
Okay.
I'm not trying to sort of forcefully push her back and anger her.
Why is this happening? Why can't we leave? Let's just leave this place. Please, my love. Let's just go.
My dear, I don't know how to break this to you, but you've passed on. and we can't be together anymore. And I'm trying to get her to realize that she's a ghost and to let go, but gently break it to her so that she doesn't like turn into a banshee and kill me.
Wailing on you.
Yeah.
Literally wailing on your ass, right? Roll plus charisma.
Okay. That's an 8.
She says, yes. Yes, I see it now. I began counting the years, didn't I? They stretched for so long. 10 years, then 30, then 40. I lost count. When I got to 500 or more, I stopped caring. Yes, you're right. I am dead. And yet you are still here, my love. Send me away with a kiss, and I will go peacefully.
I give you a questioning look.
Yeah. I kind of I look at Mary and I look at your holy symbol and I realize that it won't help me because I don't believe in your God at all. And I steel myself and lean in for a kiss.
And her kiss is like ice in your veins. It chills you to your core. It drains you. You take a D10, no armor.
Oof, that's 10.
So that puts you down.
I survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she disappears. And you collapse, gasping. Right.
I run to your side. I have my wine skin out to warm you.
Yeah.
I'm shivering and I take a little gulp of the wineskin and then I'm trying to reach towards my belt, towards a series of vials like the healing potions, and trying to uncork it and not spill it before I take a sip.
If you drink a healing potion, you get to reroll your hit points. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that because otherwise I'm
because you've got one.
Yeah.
Probably a good plan.
I keep rolling horribly on hit die.
You end up with 6 total?
10 because I have I rolled 4 and then I have Hardy plus 6.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. So the room is now safe. The ghost is gone. So. Yeah. That was a good encounter. Let me make some XP notes real quick. You took a cake cutting knife, right?
If there's silver utensils, maybe grab some of those too.
Yeah. It looks like it was set for like a nice like reception of some sort, right? Yeah, you can load up the silver and stuff if you want, silver plates and whatnot. There's some good stuff in there. Just put like wedding silver or something like that in your game. I think that'll be fine.
Someday, Kurash, when you really are married, we'll break this out again.
I feel kind of bad for her at the end of the day. Honestly.
Can we say like a little silver wedding ring like fell to the ground when she disappeared and Kurash takes that?
Oh, yeah, I'm really into that actually. That's great. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give you that just because I love that so much. So,
okay.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. The wedding ring is, I think it's set with like it's a silver wedding ring set with a green stone. So, where do you guys head from here? There are several doors, as you can see, marked there around the way, and yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling still kind of impatient because I'm afraid. Was my daughter's name Gertrude?
Gertruda.
Yeah. I'm afraid that she's going to be turned into one of these creatures of the castle. So I'm urging you guys to press on quickly.
All right. Where do you want to go, Mary?
Deeper into the castle. Where would he keep his guests?
So, looks like the heart of the castle maybe is K37.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go towards the center of the castle as far as we can tell. So,
okay, that door opens right up, and let's read what's there. This is a study. A blazing hearth fire fills this room with rolling waves of red and amber light. The walls are lined with ancient books and tomes, their leather covers well oiled and preserved through careful use. All is in order here. The stone floor is hidden beneath a luxurious rug of a deep patterned weave. A large, low table sits in the center of the room, waxed and polished to a mirrored finish. Even the poker next to the blazing fireplace is polished. Large, overstuffed divans and couches stand in order about the room. 2 luxurious chairs face the hearth. A huge painting hangs over the mantelpiece in a heavy gilded frame. The rolling light of the fire illuminates the carefully rendered painting. It is an exact likeness of the burgomaster's daughter, Irina Koliana. Though the painting is obviously centuries old, the likeness is unmistakable. And in those 2 chairs facing the hearth are 2 people. You can see their legs beneath the chair, but it's turned away from you, so you can't see who it is. What do you do? They appear to be staring at the painting.
Can we tell if they're male or female? Based on their dress.
A little unclear because they're turned away.
Might be your daughter.
Could be.
I'll go in and take a look if you want. I don't know what she looks like.
Be careful.
If it's a young girl. All right. I'll stick to the walls and inch around to where I can get a sight on these people.
And
probably, good.
As you inch around the room, relief washes over you as you see Stosh and Ivor sitting in the chairs.
I run to them, fully expecting that they're going to be ghosts or something. But
we'll end the session there. That's where you pick up your friends and
just sitting there. Probably have some port.
Sitting there with a painting that looks like Irina, right? Yeah. So we'll figure out what they were up to next time. In the meantime, you guys can go ahead and get your last XP reward, which will be, let me type it up. Your final XP reward is 230. And then if you hit flags, you get more. Yeah, let's see for flags. Are you all at level 2 right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're all at level 2, you get another. If you hit a flag, you get another 200. So
200 or 300.
So it's the difference between 1,000 and 3,000. It would be 2,000, so it's 200.
Oh, okay. It's a difference. Okay.
And that should push some of you up to 3, right?
Yeah.
I was actually technically above the limit for 3 before I got that reward.
But you did not level yet, so
yeah. So
nice try. Everybody hit a flag, right? It seemed like you all did. I remember you each trying at different points. Does anybody think? Is anybody unsure if they did or not? Right.
Nope.
Pretty sure I did. Yeah.
Cool. That was a good session. Kind of got the dungeon crawl going. Reunited with your friends. Figure out what they were up to next time. What was so pressing that they ran ahead somehow. And
They were just afraid of the witch.
It could be that too. Yeah. I think it's interesting. I don't know how. I don't know. I think we'll be able to finish next time. There's no way you're going to see the whole castle, but I think we might be able to wrap up the story arc next time, hopefully. So we'll see.
Oh shoot! I just realized this is session 4. I thought it was session 3, so I'm not going to be around for the next session.
I'm not going to be around for this one. Well, maybe they leave you in the study.
Oh well.
They trade you.
All right.
Going on without a cleric is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough as hell. Yeah, really, truly. I mean, all right. Well, you guys, we'll figure out a way to write you out.
Yeah.
But